My mom is calling in. Hi, Bish. You're on another dumb show.
Hey, you. Listen, I have no, on the tops of my toes and my bottom feet, I have, it's like all bone. I don't have any fat like between them anymore.
I thought I already said that. I already
And
answered why. Why do you need to call after I just said what? I just said that. I just said you have arthritis in your feet.
yeah, you just read that
Yeah. So
because
why are you
I just,
calling and saying the exact
yeah.
same thing?
Well, I
Right?
just wanted to make sure that you knew. I didn't know if you read it or not, but that's the reason. So it's not that I wanted to be in a wheelchair. I just knew I couldn't walk the whole zoo.
Okay. Well, I've this is new because I've never ever heard this before. We've never seen you do this before. This is all very new.
Come
You have to understand that when you
Sean,
suddenly you have to understand that when your child suddenly sees their parent in a wheelchair, it's a little bit of a jolting thing when they've never seen that before, and you don't know of them having any injuries or anything like that. You don't think that was a little jolting to
oh,
all of us to walk in and see you in a wheelchair?
no, not really. I mean, the Keely understood. Well, I guess maybe because she knew. I just didn't. I'm sure I've told you this.
No,
So I
never
just
told. I
wanted to
don't.
let
You
you
don't
know.
use. You don't use a walker. You don't use a cane. Nothing. That's why I'm like, you jumped from walking normal to not using it like normal. Like usually there's a progression. It's like the cane, then the walker, then the wheelchair. Like you just jumped right from walking to the
Well,
wheelchair.
no. Well, no. I just couldn't. There's no way I knew I could walk the zoo with my feet. I knew it, and plus the one foot's shorter than the other, or the one leg, so that too is a problem when you're walking a long way. Remember
Mom,
how you always say I walk so slow?
I'm not really
So
understanding
I'm
why
just
you
letting
got
you
why
know.
you're defending yourself so hard, adamantly here. I was trying to
Well,
explain to you that
I
we
just
were.
didn't want, oh, well, honey, I just didn't want people to think I wasn't being lazy and just using a wheelchair. And I thought about an ECV, but I'm sure I would have hit someone with it. Can you see me on a scooter?
No, no, I couldn't see you in a wheelchair until the other day, to be quite honest with you. So again, you don't think that you didn't like for a second think to say, hey guys, just so you know, I'm gonna be in a wheelchair. Do you just like what if you just
Oh,
walked
I'm
up like
sorry.
some? No, I'm just saying though. Like I'm not sweating you for being in it. I'm just confused. Like we was very confused. We were all very confused by it, Mom.
Oh, well, anyways, I just wanted to kind of clear that up. So, anyways, I'm sorry if you were confused,
I
and believe me, we won't be going there again.
well, you're stuck on there. You have to work there. But yeah, no, thank you. Uh, it was not my cup of tea, but I appreciate you and the invite. I'm glad you had a nice time. That was what it was all about. It wasn't about me having a nice time. It was about you having a nice time. So
I had a
that's
wonderful time, you guys.
good.
Just being with you guys was what made me feel good, and I really did enjoy the lights.
Right.
Um, and
I
dinner
promise.
afterward.
I promise there was no point in time where Keely was pushing you and we were on a big downhill thing and I thought maybe she just lets go of her and she just ends up in the lake. I promise you I didn't think that at one point at all.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I love you. Happy birthday. And we had a good time.
I love you too, Katie.
All right. Bye bye.
I
Oh shit! I hung up on her. Oh well. So there you go. So you could tell she's embarrassed by the wheelchair. She didn't want to outright say it, but I think she is a little bit embarrassed. I wasn't. Again, just imagine. And I'm not trying to be mean to her or pick on her. I promise you. I genuinely was like, never seen her use a cane or a walker or never. I mean, she's not exactly like she's not going to run a race, but she seems to walk fine. So I was like, what is going on right now? Did you fall and hurt yourself at work? Um, like there was no mention of it. You know, it was jolting. Just imagine walking in and seeing your parents suddenly in a wheelchair with no explanation. It was, it was weird. So, But hey, I'm glad she's okay, and it's not an injury, and it was just the arthritis. Bone on skin, she said. Bone on skin. Um, Speaking of people with some medical issues, I tell you what, um, something I was, I was surprised by my mom in the wheelchair, but something I was not surprised by was the story about Matthew Perry and his um, untimely death, which, boy, that sure brought, oh boy, all the tributes came out, didn't they? Which I still did find very strange because he was not, I don't know. He's a junkie. Let's just cut right through the bullshit here. He was a junkie on and off again. Um, I had just assumed that he probably OD'd again because he was in his the way he drowned in his jacuzzi. It was just either he drank too much or because especially when it came out that there were no extenuating circumstances like he had a cracked open head like he'd slipped and fallen or something along those lines. It was just they found him in there, slumped over. It looked like maybe a heart attack, maybe they thought he had, but they had to wait for the toxicology report. Well, the toxicology report came out, and Matthew Perry had a large amount of the drug ketamine in his system at the time of death. The same amount that would be used in general anesthesia. Um, Toxicology testing found that the ketamine levels in Perry's system were at 3,540 nanograms per milliliter. Excuse me. For context, um, general anesthesia range is usually 1,000 to 6,000 nanograms per milliliter range. So he's right in the middle there of what you'd want to put somebody to sleep at for anesthesia. Um, so he basically just went from one because I don't know if he ever shot up. I think he was a pill guy, right? When he was doing opiates, I think he was a pill guy. So what this basically, so that's how it works with the pills, right? You take a couple with the opiates, and then couple doesn't work, then you got to take more, and then you're taking more and more and more and more and more, and you're addicted, and you're taking hundreds of pills a week and things like that. Well, now you could go do that with ketamine, basically, I actually don't understand how they did this. He must have somehow gotten this illegally, because I've looked into ketamine therapy for my, all my mental issues or whatever, depression or this or that or whatever the fuck it is. Or I don't even know what I'm diagnosed at this point. I've lost track. But hey, I got a bunch of they gave me more meds, guys. So hey, great mood. Anyway, I looked into ketamine therapy at one point just to see what it was all about. And you have to physically go there and they administer it to you. At least here, they administer it to you. There's like this nasal spray you can take, I think. And I think they can actually do an IV with it or whatever. But they're not giving it to you to take home and take and administer it yourself. You have to have it administered to you at these places. So I don't know how it works. I think he lived in California. I don't know how California works. I'm sure he was using ketamine therapy. It's a way to get a high and work on your depression. It's like a legal high, basically. And ketamine I don't know if is that an opiate? I don't even know. Or is that a benzo? I don't know. But it does, I'm assuming it gives those kind of same effects if it's an anesthetic. So it's making you pass out or fall asleep. So not really sure where he go from here. I mean, because there was the big outpouring of tributes for him when he died, and now we're on to this little brief headline that, oh yeah, he used ketamine. Well, no, if he's abusing ketamine, if he was taking that much of it, he was obviously getting it illegally somehow. I'm assuming, I don't know for a fact, this is my opinion about it, I'm assuming that he was getting this illegally, or he was having some sort of doctor that was prescribing it to him in a way that wasn't properly, or he gave it, or he wasn't taking it the way the doctor was prescribing it to him. So, hate to say it, don't feel horribly terrible about this. Again, you guys know how I feel about the whole opiate situation. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Another Dumb Show. I'm Another Dumb Show host. Thank you for joining me on issue number 154. So glad, oh, hold on guys, sorry about that. So glad to have you guys with me this evening. I hope you guys had a wonderful day today. It's a little bit of a, well, it's an interesting day on my end. I hope you guys are okay with us starting a couple minutes late here. 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. That is the number you can call into the show. Excuse me, a little sneeze there. Excuse me. That's the number to call, 844-HIT-DUMB. If you want to call into the show, I'd love to hear from you guys. Of course, if you want to follow the show, you can always do that on Instagram at Another Dumb Show or on X at Another Dumb Show. Again, sorry we started late tonight. It was planned on starting on time tonight. Had a couple things come across the wire, so to speak, also known as text messages. Letting me know a couple things. I got a text message from B1 stating that, well, there's a lot going on. Earlier I got one from Mikey. He is out tonight. Mikey is got work going on and he's got other stuff going on personally. So Mikey is out for tonight. So let's wish Mikey well. I hope everything turns out okay for him and all is well. So hopefully we'll see Mikey back again soon. But yeah, he's working and he's going through some stuff. So Mikey is out for tonight. So I had to adjust my prep for that. And then just as I started getting everything all set up, I got a call, just ready to rock and roll. I got a call from B1. She was in tears. And she had just put down, I don't know if you guys remember, a while back, we got when she was still living here last year and a half ago or something like that, we got, she bought a bearded dragon. General Zod is what I named him. That was kind of the rule around the house. She brings home an animal, I get to name it. And all the other animals around the house are Superman related. We got Clark Kent and Kal-El. Darla she had already named Darla before Darla came here. And so I didn't have a choice in that one, but she's really being Arena now. But anyway, when Zod came in, well, I'll tell you why I call him Todd there, but when the bearded dragon came in, I thought, well, I don't really like lizards, and what's Superman's enemy? General Zod. So I thought, hey, why not name him General Zod? Turns out I actually turned out to kind of like the little guy. He had a little bit of a, who'd ever thought a lizard kind of had a personality? It was weird. I mean, all they really do is eat and stuff, and they look at you, but I don't know. You just kind of get a sense of a bit of a personality on this thing. So it was, he kind of grew on me, old General Zod did, but then B1 moved out, and I said, well, look, I'm not taking care of this lizard, so you're going to have to take him with you, and it got to be a little bit too much to take care of for her with her work schedule, so her mom and the kids were at home at her mom's house, so the bearded dragon went to go live over there. And so he's moved a couple times. And he sadly, over time, he's gotten sicker and sicker. And he was sick when we first got him. He had mites from the store that we got him from. There were mites on him when we got him. So he was already sick when we got him all these antibiotics, blah, 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 blah. Nursed him back to health. He seemed fine. He was eating blue worms like a boss. He seemed to be fine. But then once he went to go live at her mom's house, he started getting sicker, and it turns out that he's always been sick all along. He had this thing called yellow fungus, and it went to all his organs, and he was slowly starting to die. And so they had to put down. Oh, they changed the name. They didn't like General Zod. They changed his name to Todd over there. So he got called Zod Todd, General Zod Todd, Todd Zod, all that. He got put down tonight. So very sad day for the ADS family. We lost a member, albeit an extended member, General Zod. Wish you well, bud. Good luck in that great lizard. Crossing the Rainbow Bridge, go hang out with all the other lizards up there or whatever. But B1 was very upset, so she came over here and, I calmed her down and hugged her and all that good stuff. So between everything going on with Mikey and everything going on with her, I just needed to start a little bit late. So I apologize again, and I appreciate everybody for being here regardless. So, and Nugget Man says, oh no, B1 lost her grandma and now the dragon. Man, she just can't get a break. Yeah, I agree. She really can't. This poor girl she just can't catch a break. She really can't. And of course, this has to happen. Tomorrow is her birthday. B1's birthday is tomorrow, so happy early birthday to B1. So kind of shitty that this happened the day before her birthday, but she's not going to be at work tomorrow, so, well, thankfully she's off, and it didn't happen on her birthday, but close enough to her birthday to kind of gum up the whole works of your birthday. You don't want to, you don't want to have reminders of things on your birthday that might make you sad or whatever. Now, speaking of that, and things that around your birthday that could potentially make you sad, tomorrow is actually, while it is B1's birthday, it's also another kind of a big day as far as our relationship with B1 and I. This is tomorrow will be the 5-year anniversary of when I actually proposed to B1. So, believe it or not. We're not married yet, obviously. And I was thinking the other day, well, here, let me play this video. And I was thinking, we'll talk about both as I play it here. So here's actually the video of the actual proposal. We do have the actual video of it. I forgot about it, and then I remembered it today. They're the two of us walking up to the seal enclosure at the zoo. And as I'm watching this, it makes me it kind of got into my head a little bit as to why I was so kind of shitty at the zoo the other night with my mom. Or not with my mom, but with the whole situation. And I think subconsciously, I don't really like the zoo because this is what happened. Well, this was obviously a good day when it happened, but now that we're 5 years out from it and we're not married and we've gone through all kinds of ups and downs in that time period, I think that I have a bit of an issue with the zoo subconsciously because it didn't really dawn on me the other night. But as I started going through everything for today and thinking about everything that happened with the bad stuff that kind of circles around her birthday, it made me think, unfortunately, how it's kind of, that happened on her birthday. In case I didn't mention that happened on her birthday 5 years ago. I think I did, but I think there's this small subconscious kind of like problem I have with it. And I think that's part of why I couldn't shake off being crabby at the zoo the other night. And again, it wasn't going through my mind at the zoo much. I mean, we even kind of walked past the enclosure and I kind of looked at it and I thought about it for a second and went, that sucks. And then I didn't really think about it much after that. And kind of popped into my head a little bit actually after the zoo now that I think about it. But then like today, really, when I watched that video and thought about everything kind of surrounding it, I was like, oh, that's why I'm probably wasn't a big fan of the zoo. So, sorry, Mom. Uh, even you heard me giving her a hard time in the recap there about riding in a wheelchair. And I did see, I think it was Nugget Man in the chat had mentioned something along the lines, if I was so jolted by seeing her in the wheelchair, which is what I mentioned in the recap. I was talked to her on the phone yesterday, and I had told her, I said, Mom, I don't think you understand. If you're not used to seeing someone in a wheelchair, it's rather jolting when you see that. And he brought up a good point, and he said, if it was so jolting, why didn't you say, oh my God, Mom, what happened? Well, I kind of figured out what it was after about 2 seconds because she was smiling and laughing. There was no walking boot on her foot. You know, she didn't have a wrist brace on like she'd fallen. I hadn't gotten a call from anybody that there was anything wrong. She had hurt herself. So I just kind of did the math that her feet were hurting because I know her feet will hurt. I understand that. She's an older woman. That happens to an older lady. I didn't realize it was to the extent that she can't walk for, an extended period of time like we were doing the other day. So that's why I didn't say, oh my God, what happened? Why are you in the wheelchair? I was jolted at first and then kind of just realized what was going on at that point. So, and again, not sweating my mom about it. I get it. I think it was just a little bit more of, I don't know. I think I would have liked the heads up. All right, that's it. Hey, my feet are hurting. I'm going to be in a wheelchair. Don't be surprised when you get here. Just something that simple might have helped me out there. So, Nugget Man asks, why wasn't B1 at the fun birthday celebration for Bish at the zoo? B1 was actually at her family had a party for one of her relatives. I can't remember. I think it was her nephew that she had a party for. I think it was his birthday party, so she went over there for that, and she spent all her time over there that day. She did end up coming over later on after we got back from dinner, but yeah, she had spent the whole day over there. But no, I'm not going to lie to you. I was very conflicted about the whole situation, whether or not because my daughter Keely kind of set up the whole thing, and when she didn't really mention B1. And I think that that's because she doesn't really know where we stand from day to day or week to week or whatever. Because she'll ask about it when we work together at weddings, and I'll say, it's going good or whatever. But I don't think that I think she just wanted it to be the kids and Grandma and me. You know what I mean? So I don't think she didn't want B1 there, but I think she didn't want B1 there, if that makes sense. Not like it was like excluding her on purpose, but doing it just because it was supposed to be special just for my mom and the kids. And well, Austin was there. So I guess that doesn't make much sense. But my mom, I don't know, man. I was conflicted about it too. I felt bad because I know B1 likes the zoo. So I thought to myself, I don't know, do I invite her? Do I not invite her? I opted with not because she had the party to go to. I probably could have pushed for why don't you come after the party or come to dinner with us. But I just went, you know what? Let's just leave it where it is. It's not worth it. I was supposed to go to a party on Saturday night. My good friend's girlfriend had a birthday party on Saturday night that both B1 and I were both invited to separately by the girlfriend. And I was like, we were planning on going to that party after all of this, or at least I was, after we went to the zoo and then out to dinner. I was going to go to the party. But then that shit happened with my neck, and I couldn't turn my head at all, and I was in a ton of pain. So we didn't go to the party. But then that was another weird thing. Were we going to go to the party? Were we going to go to the party together? I don't know. We hadn't really kind of nailed down the details or the facts about, or like the schedule about it. So it was a little bit strange. As far as my end, I didn't make it weird. I didn't say anything about it being weird. I just kind of let it go. And you know what? Everything's fine. It didn't, for 2 seconds it bothered me. Not bothered me. In 2 seconds, I would have been like, oh, it was nice. It would have been nice if she was here for this. But then on the other hand, I was like, if B1 would have gone with us to the zoo lights, we'd have been stopping every 15 seconds to take a picture at a different display. And I'll be honest with you, I was not down for that. So I was perfectly happy with getting in there and getting out of there because it was cold and my neck was fucking killing me. So it was a lot of fucking walking. So I didn't mind that she wasn't there that much, to be quite honest with you. So we would have been stopping for lots and lots of pictures for her to post on Instagram. Now, I did propose to her. It's funny. I still actually have the ring. Um, I have it. People ask every once in a while what the deal is with that. Do I have it or not? I do. Um, we don't talk about our relationship at all. We just don't. We just kind of go with the flow and see, where things are day to day, and we really don't. We're just there for each other if we need each other to lean on for things. But we just honestly don't. We don't talk about it. Everything just seems to fall into place, and we seem to be fine having our own places. And um, who knows what the future will hold as far as that goes? I don't know. Maybe I'll give the ring back to her. Maybe I'll sell the ring. Maybe I'll give the ring back to the people I got it from. I don't know. But hey, there is a new thing. There's a new trend, and I'm a DJ, and I DJ lots of weddings. Obviously, ClevelandReception.com. If you need a DJ, if you know somebody getting married, send them my way. We got some openings for next year. But there's a new trend going around where instead of giving out an actual diamond, because the ring I got B1, was your basic. This is what she wanted: a solitaire, I think, princess cut diamond. This is a standard middle ring. There, it wasn't not huge, not little, nice size. It was just right for her hand. But those are expensive, those rings. So people have really gone to great lengths to try to avoid, because the new trend is people are kind of downsizing on the pricing for what they spend on their wedding in order to facilitate getting their first house and things like that. They're planning a little bit more for the future and less for the actual event itself. So, they'll downgrade some of the stuff they're going to have at the wedding, or when they're asking for gifts, they don't want, china or KitchenAid mixer or something like that, or a new couch. They ask for actual money towards a down payment on their home or something like that. They're very specific about it. But one of the ways they've figured out to reduce costs for these weddings, and I wonder what you ladies think about this. I wonder who wrote this. If it looks like a woman did write this story. There's a new thing out, and well, your old boy was way out ahead of this years and years ago. Lab-grown diamonds. They have finally become a thing. Brides-to-be who are frugal and are more interested in their future and they're getting a house and things like that are willing to accept getting a lab-grown diamond. Now, lab-grown diamonds much, 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 much cheaper than an actual diamond that was created by the earth and coal and compressed and turned into a diamond, right? That's what makes it precious. It's hard to find. There's rare. People are dying getting them out of these blood diamonds, out of these mines and all these awful things. But so now they have these lab-grown diamonds that are available. And I mentioned that I was out ahead of this, because I did this. Now, I didn't give an engagement ring to my ex-wife, but I did give my ex-wife, if you're an old school fan of Dumb, if you've been listening to me for years, back on the old show, way, way, way back on the old show, back in the old CBS days, this is when I think I was, well, let's see. I was married because these were the gift I got for my now ex-wife. At the time, she was my fiance. When I got her what I got her before we got married was a set of 1 carat diamond stud earrings. Now, I didn't mention to her that they were lab grown. I told her they were real because, to be quite honest with you, in my opinion, they were real. They're diamonds. They're just grown in a lab. They're still diamonds. They still have the same clarity. They still have some of the same flaws, all the same stuff, just not from a mine in Africa or something somewhere. It was just grown in a lab. And if you guys have a good memory, you'll remember that I went out to dinner with the old members of the show, and I think they're neighbors at the time, maybe infamous neighbors. If I might be mistaken, I can't remember officially. But went out to dinner with the old boss and a few people, and it came up during dinner. They were like, "Boy, those are some nice earrings," they said to my ex-wife. And she was like, yeah, thank you, showing them off and da, 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 da. And they're like, are they real? And she goes, yeah, they're real. And they're like, everybody kind of like looked around a little bit. And like, she was oblivious to it. She didn't notice. She just went back to eating. Yeah, they're real. Yeah, and just went back to eating. And I saw everybody around the table kind of go, real? Like make a face like, what? Are you kidding me? So then, of course, because the psychopaths I worked with couldn't let anything go, they decided to bring it up on the air and call me out about it. And it turned into a whole big thing where we ended up, well, I got outed about it on the air. I got slapped across the face by my ex-wife because I lied to her. Because I think they took it to a jeweler across the street and they ended up being worth like 38 cents each or something like absolutely ridiculous. But I got to tell you, they look exactly the same. She loved them. She never wore them again after that once. Never again after that, to be quite honest with you, though. So that was disappointing because she loved them when she was wearing them. They were her engagement gift. That's what I forgot. I left that out. That was what I gave to her at the engagement or not engagement dinner. What the hell is it called? Oh, the rehearsal dinner. You know, you give out a gift to your significant other the night before the wedding at the rehearsal dinner. Well, that was my gift to her. And she loved it when she had it until she found out that they were fake. So, yeah, they were not cubic zirconium. They were synthetic lab-grown diamonds. And again, I know Creepy Michelle is a jeweler, so she probably would know the most about it. She said, chemically lab-grown are comparable. I don't use them and won't design with them, but there's really nothing wrong with them. Oh yeah, I totally, if you're like a reputable jeweler, you want to use actual diamonds, unless you make it very clear. I don't even know if I was an actual diamond salesman, like, or diamond salesperson, whatever, if I sold diamonds, I don't like real mined diamonds. I don't think it would be smart to even offer synthetic diamonds because people might just be like, am I getting ripped off? Did they just take one of those synthetic diamonds from down at the other end of the counter and just switch it and just, well, what if you mix it up because you really can't tell the difference? So yeah, that's probably a good move not to sell those if you're actually in the business of selling legit diamonds. So there you go, guys and ladies. You can be like dumb and you might not end up getting slapped in the face. You can go out and you can save yourself some money if you're ready to pull that trigger and ask the love of your life if they want to marry you. You can go out and go ahead and get yourself a lab-grown diamond because, well, unless you're with a traditional lady who's like, screw that, you're going to spend 4 months. What are you going to spend? 3 months salary or whatever? I can't remember. There's some ridiculous thing you're supposed to spend some ridiculous amount you're supposed to spend on your diamond ring for the engagement, and I think that's a little bit nuts. So let's see here, guys. I have another story that is it's actually not a story, it's a wedding related story or video. Where did it go? Did I lose this video? Oh, come on. Why is it the one video I'll go to look for I can't find? Why does this happen to me? I swear to God. Son of a bitch. Anyway, well, fuck it. I don't care. It really wasn't that good anyway, to be honest with you. Well, you know what? I lied. Where is this video? It's pissing me off now, guys. I'm going to find it. Ah, there it is. There it is. It's actually a great video. So here, real quick, here is this video. And then I got a phone call I'm going to take after that. Let's see here. There's this guy who's a groom. He's in a little bit of trouble on internet trouble or whatever. George, hold on. I got some internet trouble here for this guy. It's a groom. I got to be honest with you. I've seen something like this happen at weddings, so it's not the craziest thing in the world. But here you go. Here's a little wedding-related video you might get a laugh at. Every chance I get. Oh, I talked right over the top of it. My bad. Here you go. So this is a groom in one of the things he says to his bride. You can see it's up in the captions there. It's gotten a little bit of flack on the internet. Here you go. One more time.
I promise to smack ass every chance I get. That's all I got.
Is that it?
Okay.
Are you sure?
I didn't write nothing down.
That's what you're going out with?
That's what I'm going with.
Cool.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. All right, so I haven't, I said I've seen some I've seen, actually, I think I've pretty much seen a woman and a guy both say to each other, and I promise to like pinch you on the butt when I walk by you, or I promise to pat you on the ass, smack you on your ass. I've actually heard that in vows before. but it was sandwiched in between a bunch of other stuff about how much you add to my life and what a what a wonderful person you are and how much you've learned from the other person and blah, 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 blah. You sandwich and or you just kind of end it with, oh, and I promise I'll smack you on the ass every time you walk by or whatever. This guy just is a fucking creep about it. Speaking of creeps, I'm just kidding. Curious George, you're on Another Dumb Show. What's up, dude? Just kidding. You're not a creep. What's up, bro?
Hey, you doing, Dom? Hope you're doing well.
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
Good, good. So earlier you were talking about that you were with your ex-wife. You were engaged during the CBS days, which means you got married during the CBS days. Are you able to tell us what gifts your colleagues got you that were on that show?
Yeah, I can. I got a big chunk of change from the boss man, and him and Douche actually, because I think they were together at the time, and I don't know that it had come out yet that they were together. I got a big chunk of change. I think it was like $500. It was a good chunk. I remember being I was a little overwhelmed by it actually because it was such a nice chunk of money. And then I also got I'm trying to remember. Dieter didn't go, and he gave me a card with cash beforehand. I think it might have been like $100 or something like that, like enough to cover. Dieter is like he, God love him, he was at the time was like a wedding machine, like because he was a frat and in that age group where everybody's getting married, so he was going to like 4 or 5 weddings a summer for a few years, and so I think he had another wedding to go to, like one of his friends, so he couldn't come to mine, but he had a very specific, like however many people you invite times how much the dinner would cost is how much you give for the gift or whatever. So I think he ended up giving like $100 for like 2 heads of dinner. I don't know, something like that. And then see, Jazzy Jim was on the show at the time, and I believe he came and I gave me a gift, and I think it was cash, and I doubt it was a huge amount, but it was nice of him. I don't remember what it was. But he was interning and making, $8 an hour probably. So I was just thankful to have him there and get the gift. Let's see here. Who else am I forgetting? I believe Tom Herschel actually came to my wedding too, the GM of the radio station, and he gave a nice chunk of change too. I can't remember what it was. But I do believe it was over $100, if I'm not mistaken. So some very nice gifts from everybody there. Everybody would say they were very normal at my wedding. They were normal they were busy just observing and just taking notes the whole time and stuff that they can make fun of me about. But yeah, there you go, George. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have 2 more because you're not going to be around probably doing during Christmas. So, and I've so busy at work, so we can wrap up everything before Christmas that I probably won't have a chance to call in. So Happy holidays to you and everybody and your family.
Thank you.
And the last 2 questions, if it's all right. Have you ever had sex with B1 or I guess any chick back on the old show, like going in the back where nobody was around, doing it on the boss's desk?
No, nothing crazy like that. Nope. Nothing weird. Right. No, I would love to say yes, that was like kinkier. That opportunity really never even presented itself.
Okay. And last question, have you ever made a sex tape with B1?
Oh, yeah, I thought I've answered that before. Yeah, we made a whole bunch. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of them. Got them all saved. Pictures. I definitely use them frequently, for sure.
Yeah, I subscribed to her OnlyFans that she had, and
good for you.
Wow.
She thanks you. She thanks you. So yeah, you know what I'm working with, George. I'm a lucky guy. So
yes, you are. Well, thanks, Tom. Thanks for answering my questions, man. I really appreciate it. Have a good Christmas.
You're welcome. Merry Christmas to you and yours, my friend. Take it easy. Let's see. I got another call here. Let's see. We'll roll the dice. Hi, you're on Another Dumb Show. Today Wednesday.
Hey, Dom.
Hey, what's up? Who's this?
This is Tim.
Hey, Tim. What's up, dude?
Hey man, love the show. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Wanted to call in and comment on the diamond thing. I actually recently got engaged. Actually, Charlie helped me film my surprise engagement at a movie theater, which is a whole other story. But
Wow. Okay. Cool. He did mine too. So that was who recorded mine. I don't know if you know that, but the one I showed you guys earlier, he recorded that.
oh yeah, at the zoo.
That's right.
No, but you were talking about the diamonds, and it was just a relevant recent issue with me. Not issue, but topic with me, because we were looking obviously at rings, and we learned about lab-made diamonds. And what we learned is on a molecular level, they're the exact same thing as a diamond.
I think that's
so
what I think I remember. I think I remember reading that, and that was actually the selling point for me. To tell you the truth, I went, well, wait a minute. If they're chemically or molecularly exactly the same, well, shit, what's the difference?
Yeah, well, it kind of brought up something I was thinking about. I'm like, if my fiance was the type of person that said, no, I demand you get a diamond that some poor African kid had to dig up with a stick, even though it's the exact same thing, I would be concerned, and they're not, it's not like they're, CZs. They're still pretty costly.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember. Well, yeah, it wasn't like cheap, but in comparison to a diamond, like I think the actual price of the actual diamonds that were like $15,000 or $20,000 if they would have been an actual real diamond at a 1 carat stud price or something like that. So I think comparably, I think I might have paid $150 for for the two of them, something like that. So. I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe now that there's a little bit more of a market for them, they've upped the price a little bit. So did you guys end up going with the lab grown diamond?
Yeah, and it was from a great company. So, I mean, it was about a third of the price, which, again, still pretty costly. And it's beautiful. It all worked out. But I just thought it's a good kind of litmus test for all the gentlemen out there that if they have a woman that's demanding that when, the lab mate, like you said, is the exact same thing. I don't know. I think it'd be a little red flag, to be honest.
Yeah, or if they slap you in the face when they find out about it, maybe it doesn't work out. So, all right, Tim. Well, hey, congratulations, by the way, on your engagement. Hey, if you need a DJ, you know where to find me, my dude. All right.
Oh, you're on my list. Appreciate it, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, dude. Congrats. I have a good one. All right. Well, hey, good for Tim. See, I guess that makes sense though, to kind of look if your chick is like, but I don't know. I don't think I could hold that against the woman or anyone who would want an actual real diamond, because there is the rarity of it, and I don't know, and I guess the fact that it was mined makes a difference. I'm sure there are plenty of diamonds that aren't blood diamonds and were muled across inside of, like, if you ever saw that movie, inside of like animals and shit. But yeah, it does make you think twice if you watch that movie about getting an actual diamond, because it's a little bit, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, good luck to Tim. I hope his girl stays true. I hope that he doesn't end up getting any flack if one of the girls at work finds out about it and she comes along and goes, boy, old Tina, she made fun of my lab-grown diamond at work. Hopefully that doesn't happen, because that would, because then he's going to have to deal with that, and then he's going to be like, oh, shit, now I'm going to have to get her at least some sort of real diamond something, so maybe a necklace or something so she can show that off at work. I don't even know. Real quick about the diamonds, probably creepy Michelle. What's up? You're on Another Dumb Show. How are you?
Hey, friends.
What's up?
If you want to move on from the diamond conversation, I totally get it. But I just thought that I would call in real quick with kind of like a quick, like, easy breakdown for people to kind of understand, like, the different levels of kind of like possibilities of diamonds and how they're made and things.
Yeah, no, I mean, because they're not all blood diamonds, right? There's plenty of diamonds being ethically mined, I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah, so especially within the last 20 years, there's definitely been a lot more push, not only for ethical mining, but for ethical mining on the humanitarian side, but also just ethical mining on just the carbon footprint in general when it comes to stones, because aside from the human subject of mining the diamonds, you also have the environmental aspect, right? Because
sure.
You're doing essentially like a irreplaceable damage to the earth, while you're mining. But in a sense, I think the easiest way to kind of break down is the real diamonds is to actually kind of use almost like, and I said this in the chat briefly, but I think it's worth repeating so people can kind of understand, is to kind of like use a baby as a subject. So
Okay.
if you have a baby that's like naturally conceived, you know, through intercourse, that's going to be like your diamond, right? That's going to be like your
Okay.
natural mined diamond. A lab grown diamond can be like comparable to a baby that's like artificially inseminated.
I
So
understand.
where you would extract like eggs from a woman, extract semen from a man, do it in the petri dish, and then you know, and then impregnate them. That's kind of would be the best way I can say would be a lab grown diamond, a certified lab grown diamond that is the same on the molecular level. At the end of the day, is it still a baby? Yeah, it totally is. And then it just, I guess, would make a difference to the parents on whether or not they care that it's artificially inseminated versus, you know, conceived naturally.
Yeah. Okay. So
Once
that's
you
a
get
good.
down to kind of like more,
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Keep going.
once you kind of get down to like a little bit more like synthetic diamonds, that would almost be comparable to say like, well, here's a baby doll. It's
Okay.
still like, it looks like a baby. It's not gonna talk to you. It's not gonna move. But here, like, this looks like a baby. This is good enough for you. And like, you know, are you gonna hand a baby doll to parents that like really want a baby and try to conceive? Like, that's probably gonna be a little heartbreaking, right? If you just hand them a baby doll.
Right on. So,
And then once you kind of like really get, and you can even go lower than that, right? Like you can go down to kind of just like stones that are cut like glass, and then that would almost be like putting a diaper on a bag of sugar and being like, this is a baby. You know,
what
so
do
it
you
just kind of like continues to get lower and lower.
what do you think about Tim and his comment about kind of using it as a litmus test for the type of woman that you're going to be getting involved with? If she would prefer a mined diamond versus a lab grown diamond, and that might be a little bit of a litmus test on the woman and her morals or ethics.
Yeah, you know,
I guess.
I don't think it's necessarily. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a litmus test just as much as somebody would say like, oh, I prefer like an antique style ring versus like a Tiffany engagement ring. Like, I think it's really just about, I think there's a lot of personality in your stones. You know, I do a lot of stone shopping. I work with a lot of stone dealers, and it's one of the reasons why, like, you know, when you're working on something as big as an engagement ring, you have so many options and it feels really overwhelming, but that's really is because like each one does kind of have its own personality. Now, when it comes to like certified lab grown diamonds, I noticed that people that want bigger, like massive diamonds in their pieces, like they're okay with lab grown because it's like for them, it's important for the look. Like that's
Okay.
what it is. But I have some people that like specifically want like old mined diamonds that because they know that there's like a massive history behind it and it'll come with paperwork back to like, you know, maybe 200 years ago. So I don't think it's really a litmus test on anybody's like character. I just
Okay.
think it's really a personality thing.
Yeah, and the more that you say that, you put it in. You're much more eloquent than me. You put it in terms that I was trying to figure out. Because yeah, like the way you say it, it's a person. I guess I don't really wear jewelry, but that does make sense that, you know, jewelry is a very personal thing for people, and especially, you know, they can be hand down from person to person and things like that. So, yeah, I guess there is some sort of, you know, you'd like to hand down something of value to someone too. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that now that the more I think about it, especially like you said.
And frankly, at the end of the day, you know, like what the ring means is going to be, it's going to outweigh like whatever stone you pick, you know. So you know, people when they have like any budget, you know, I think the biggest thing I get, they're like, is that not enough of a budget? I'm like, you know, I think my response is always the same. My response is any budget that you have and the gift that you want to give has like tremendous value because of, you know, what you want to do and what you want to represent. Like, I don't think there's any large or small budget. I think it's, you know, it's like you said, it's a really personal thing. And you know what? You and I kind of work a lot in the same now that I'm thinking about it. Like our two industries, like when you have your DJ business and what I do, like in my business, like it really is, it's so tailored to each person.
Mm-hmm.
There's no kind of like one blanket thing, and you have to talk to them and you have to like gain this relationship with them in order to like really narrow down to what you want.
That's one of the things that I really
it's a value.
stress to my customers is that you're not going to get a cookie cutter event. That's one of the things I really stress. So you get a customized event when you have Sean Street Entertainment there. So Creepy Michelle, thank you so much for calling in. I hope everybody who's purchased diamonds from you, excuse me, for Christmas, enjoy the diamonds that are going to be handed out for gift. So, and I hope you and your family have a wonderful holiday.
Oh, you too, bud. Bye.
All right, thank you. All right, let's see here. I got another call here. Hi, you're on another dumb show. Who's this?
Sean, this is Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. What's up, dude?
Hey, man, I was just good. I listened to the old radio station for a long time.
Right on.
And I will tell you, yeah, I mean, probably since 2009.
Sweet.
But yeah, no, it was good. But you know, I've always been a fan of yours because some of the roller coasters that you were put through, but you always kind of stood tall and yeah, and I just happened to see. I didn't even know. I Googled your you know, what's Dumb doing with RMG or whatever, and I came across this and I subscribed. But
all right, hell yeah, thanks, dude.
Yeah, and I'm really no, and I think I think it's great. I think it's a great thing just to see that you're building your own platform. So I'm in Columbus, Ohio, big Buckeye fan. So,
well, right on, go Bucks. I'm wearing my hoodie tonight. There you go. I stole it from my kids.
Yeah, I'm see. Yeah, I see it. But
well,
I just want to give you encouragement because I think you have a lot of great content. I like, you have a great personality, and just from a guy standpoint, you're very interesting to talk to.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, man. I every day I think to myself, boy, I sure hope I'm doing the right thing here. I hope there's people who enjoy the show because, when you do this kind of stuff, you really get a lot more hate than you do good positive feedback a lot of times. So it's really great to hear some positive feedback. I really appreciate it, Jamie. Thank you. I literally, right before our show started, while I was rebooting everything, I got a bunch of shitty ass Instagram messages. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. What is wrong with people? It's Christmas season. You're walking around saying nasty shit to people. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Get in the holiday spirit and at least, if you don't have anything nice to say, just shut the fuck up, right? I mean, my God.
Well, I know. You just I guess you take the good with the bad, but I get it. Yeah, I know. Sometimes you're probably going like, why the hell am I doing this?
Sometimes I do, but
you do give a good source of entertainment and perspective.
I appreciate that. Well, I hope you watch tomorrow. Tomorrow I have something fun planned. Keep listening tonight, and we'll talk a little bit more about what I have planned for tomorrow night's show. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So, Jamie, thank you for being a fan for so long. I appreciate. Thank you to Google for answering your question when you said, "What is Dumb doing now?"
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
I saw it. So yeah.
I'm assuming the old show you're in best of. I know they're in best of right now. You maybe heard an old segment about me and went, I wonder what that old fat fuck's up to, and looked it up, and there it was.
You know what? Most of their old stuff is stuff I listened to because I was like, oh, I remember hearing this. And I know like there were situations where you got pissed off, and I was like, dude, who wouldn't be pissed off? I mean, you know what I mean? Like everybody doesn't come to work at a 10% level, like perfect, like, oh, everything's great. Like everyone, you know what I mean? So like, I was like, why do they keep saying that? And, I go to work in a pissed off mood.
Yeah.
So I get it, man.
Yeah, and it was. I think I think the difference is I think here a little bit. I try to be a little bit more chill. I try not to go 0 to 100 as much, and I don't. Well, I don't have as many people poking and prodding me all day long either. So I think that probably helps with it. But Jamie, I appreciate you
Right.
being such a big fan, my dude, and I will keep doing another dumb show as long as I can, my friends, and hopefully you'll keep watching.
Yeah. Yeah, I certainly will.
Awesome, good stuff. Well,
Take
thank
care,
you,
Sean.
thanks for subscribing, my dude. Take it
Art,
easy, Jamie.
no.
Make sure you turn on your notifications,
Dad.
okay?
Okay.
All
I
right,
will.
dude. Later. Just a reminder to all you guys too. Make sure you have your notifications turned on. I know a lot of people forget about that, especially when things like tonight happen where we had to start late. So just a quick reminder: if you don't have that, hit that little bell down there. If you have not already had that turned on. I've got to backtrack a little bit here. A big, huge shout out. Much love from Tim. He says, I'm a lurker, sorry. I fucking love this chat community. I really hope Mikey is going to get help before he dies. For real, for real. Well, I don't know that Mikey's dealing with anything like that tonight. I just think, I didn't mean to imply that at all by any means. Mikey's just going through some stuff personally right now that he just needs to work through. And I don't mean by any means it has anything to do with any of the stuff, any slip-ups or anything like that that I know of. I just think, he's just going through some stuff. I don't want to get into it. It's his life. It's his. If he wants to talk about it, he'll talk about it. But Mikey just needs the night off, and that's fine. I don't care. I'm totally cool with my dude. But Timothy with a huge super fan donation. So much love to you, dude. I really, really, really greatly appreciate it. Because like I said, guys, these super fan donations and all your memberships and stuff, those are really what help keep another dumb show rolling. Big shout out to Nugget Man. Another huge donation from him. So I just want to say thank you to him personally. And again, that's really honestly, I always tell everybody that's the best way if you have, especially if you're in the chat, if there's something you want me to say, pretty much have to say it if you put it in the superfan donation. So that's one of the things to check out there. Oh, by the way, just a reminder too, make sure you have your gifts turned on. You can go to youtube.com/anotherdumbshow/allow_gifts. youtube.com/anotherdumbshow/allow_gifts. And you can it takes you right to the thing to have your gifts enabled because our members love to hand out free memberships to everybody. Something else that's going to be handed out here at the end of the year or at the beginning of 2024, there are some celebrities and politicians who are probably shitting their pants right now. Some scumbags who used to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein may be outed as over 170 of Jeffrey Epstein's high-profile associates will be named in court documents set to be unsealed in the first days of 2024. And of course, they show a picture. One of the pictures is a famous picture of Bill Clinton with the girl. And this all comes after Prince Andrew and all the allegations that came along with him and the young girl and Epstein Island and all this is one night it'd be good. One day, whoa, what just happened there? Hold on, everything went black for a sec. Let's see if it comes back up. There we go. That was weird. Everything just went black for a second. That was crazy. That was nuts. Anyway, so I wish Mikey was here. I should have saved this for when he is here because I know he goes down the rabbit hole of Epstein and all that kind of stuff and all the conspiracy theories involved with it. But I know Bill Clinton is one of the people who is, I know he spent time with Epstein. I think he was on the infamous, whatever that express was, the Lolita Express. So there's all kinds of people celebrities, politicians, who are going to be possibly outed in this the thing. So if they did any sort of dealings with Epstein and went to this island, they are going to really be fucked because it's going to come out. So I'm interested to see if there's any big name celebrities, big name politicians who are going to be outed when these court documents are unsealed in the early part of 2024. So let's see here. CB says, can you comment on your admitted $1,300 a month weed habit? I like smoking weed, and I think I was on the show when I said how much I spent on it, so I don't know, maybe take that into account. Weird thing to even bring up. God, what a weird comment. So is that you saying that people shouldn't donate then because you're asking because I spend money on weed? Oh boy. I guess I shouldn't give all the thanks. Part of the thing I was going to do literally right before I went to break here, right before I read that, that was nice. That was such a nice thing to read too. I was actually going to thank everybody once again and let you guys know that I have something planned for tomorrow as a little thank you. I'm going to beat myself up tomorrow. I'm going to try to drink a gallon of eggnog, and I'm going to see how fast I can get down a gallon of eggnog, because I know when you guys love watching me try these challenges, and I haven't really done one, I think that's really, I got close to puking on one of them, but I think this one we might get some spray here. So the boys are going to be, okay, cool. CB, head of the trolls, clarifying, not sweating me about it, just wanted to clarify how much I spend and everything. All right, cool, very much. Oh, it was on Best Of this morning. Aha, there you go. So that makes sense. Okay. I don't listen. I just know that they're in Best Of. So, all right, cool, good stuff. Glad nobody's been negative. Sorry. I'm sorry I got cranky. I'm glad we're all on the same page. You're the best. Love you guys. Thank you. Sorry. But anyway, I am saying thank you still. Thank you to all of you guys. As tomorrow, we're probably going to go on break for a couple days, and I'll pop on maybe, I think, for some football one of these days. Another super fan donation from Tim. Oh, thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. He said, this one is for some weeds. So thank you. I appreciate it, dude. That's awesome. Right as I say, we're going to go on break. No, we'll take a couple days off going into because the boys are going to be here with me. So tomorrow we're going to be live. And then I think what we'll probably do is we'll take Thursday and Friday off so I can spend some time with the boys and just focus on them. But they're going to be on with me tomorrow night. They don't know this yet, but I'm going to have the boys on with me tomorrow night because I want them here cheering me on as I try the 1 gallon eggnog challenge. First off, I want to see how if I can get it down, all of it, because I know they say like you can't drink a gallon of milk in an hour. I can't remember if I've done that before. I feel like I did. I can't remember. But I'm going to try to do this eggnog. And I'm going to try to get as much down as I can, as fast as I can. And we'll see what happens with it. Because I got to be honest with you, I only kind of like eggnog. I like about 3 sips of eggnog, and I'm usually done. So it should be interesting tomorrow to see how it goes with the gallon eggnog challenge that we'll be doing live tomorrow. And I'm not sure what time, but we'll do it live tomorrow. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We come back from break. I do have to do our fantasy football recap. Our fantasy football update for this week. I'll do a quick recap of Monday Night Football from last night. And I do have a silly story about some crazy Christmas bedroom antics that a girl and her guy are getting into. And if we have time, depending on where we're at, I might just do a little video dump. I do have a couple kind of just crazy videos in there. One of them in particular is really nuts. So sit back, relax. Second hour is always happy hour here on Another Dumb Show. If you've not already cracked some cold ones, go get them now. Get those. If you've got kids, put them in the other room. Tell them Santa's not coming if you don't go in the other room. So get your happy ass in the other room because mommy and daddy are going to do a little drinky. So you want to crack some cold ones? I'm going to go crack a bottle of vino here. I'm going to be drinking a little bit of that for the second half today. If you don't drink, you just want to enjoy a little bit of lavender, go ahead and do that. Whatever makes you happy for the second half here on Another Dumb Show. We'll be right back. Sit tight. Okay, we're back. Welcome back to another Dumb Show, issue number 154. So happy to have all of you here streaming on my tube tonight. You know how good it feels having you guys streaming on my tube. It feels so good. It feels so right. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it so much. I hope you guys are enjoying the holiday season as much as I am. I'm all hyped up for Christmas. You guys saw I got the Christmas stuff out there today. Santa Dumb was going ham on Amazon today. So once again, thank you to everybody who helped support another Dumb Show and help make a great Christmas for my family. I really appreciate it so much. Scott78 helped with that as he just gifted out 5 another Dumb Show membership. 1 to Crystal, 1 to Christy, 1 to Tygram, 1 to Becky. I'm sorry, 1 to Joe, and 1 to Kenobi. So congratulations to all you guys, and thank you so much, Scott78, for being such a huge supporter of another Dumb Show. You're one of the people who is a frequent donator and gift giver, so thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Real quick, before the break, I forgot to get to something. I apologize we went to the break a little bit earlier. I kind of lost track of time a little bit, and I thought we were a little bit later than we were. And I actually had something else I wanted to talk about, but I forgot to get to it before we went to break. There was a huge leak today in the video game world. Is this the right one? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, cool. There was a huge leak in the video game world today. Now, hold on one sec. Actually, I pulled the wrong video. Where did it go? Where's that at? I know I downloaded that. What keeps happening to my videos? I swear to God, I download videos and I name them and then I lose them after I get them. Like, I don't understand how I do this to myself. Such an idiot. Anyway, all right. So here's the video. A couple years back in 2021, there was some footage, a trailer, kind of a teaser trailer released for a video game for Wolverine, one of my favorite comic book characters and movie characters. I love Wolverine. Hugh Jackman. I loved the animated Wolverine back in the day, the X-Men comics, the animated X-Men that were on. That was one of the best cartoons out ever. I fucking loved it. I could still watch that as an adult. I mean, honestly, it's that good. They're such great stories, kind of cool animation, great characters. Just awesome. Highly recommend that if you haven't watched that. I wonder if that's on like Hulu or Netflix or Max or something like that. I wonder if that's out there somewhere. Those are awesome. I'd love to go back and watch those. But anyway, today there was a big leak, or I guess it happened yesterday, a leak in the video game world. Insomniac Games, the studio behind Spider-Man and what now turns out to be Wolverine, has been hacked, and they leaked the entire game slate that goes all the way to 2030. Personal info on many employees, so that's not good news, but good news for us is all the video game stuff. They released part of the gameplay for the video game Wolverine. And I actually have it, and I hope you guys like it. Check it out. Here is the leaked footage. Now, some of it is like, I think 2021 is when they first talked about this coming, or, first announced that this would be coming out. And then, so it's still in development at this point. Even all the way here in 2023, it's still in development. So what's been leaked is some actual, unfinished video game build footage. So it'll look a little weird when you see it, unless maybe that's the training session. I don't know. Let's watch it, because I only watched a little bit of it. Here you go. So you see Wolverine. I don't know what this song is, so I'm just going to mute it because I don't want to get it shut off. So here it is. It starts at the beginning with Wolverine in his... See this shot right here from behind? This was the teaser trailer they released years ago, was him at a bar, and it just kind of showed up with him behind him. And sorry I don't have that one for you. I swear to God I had it, but I have no idea where it went. Oh, wait, here it is. Nope, that's not the right one either. Anyway, screw it. We don't need it. But here is the new game. Let's check this out. All right, so you see Wolverine swooping in. Now, like I said, this is some of the unfinished footage. So it looks a little janky right off the bat. Little wonky. But we see Wolverine doing some Wolverine-y shit. That's sweet. So he's blocking swords with his, see, you can see the snick there. You can see his, claws sticking out. Then he's using his claws to climb around on a wall and hang to a wall. That's some sweet Wolverine shit right there. You can see kind of some of the build of it. Again, I don't know who that is. It must be somebody he's going to be fighting. But it looks like, so here's some more of it. Wolverine on the ground, kind of. Trees falling. But it does look like we're going to be dealing with some of the same kind of fighting that you see in Spider-Man and Arkham. That same kind of fighting gameplay engine, it seems like we're going to be facing that, dealing with a lot of that. So that's kind of cool, though. Actually, that's not very cool because I find that to be one of the more boring parts of those games. So I'm hoping that it doesn't center around just going from one section to another, having to do little fight scenes. Well, at least if you have lots of powers. If you have lots and lots of powers you can use and stuff like that, and since Wolverine's not going to get hurt, you could probably do some really kick-ass cool shit with Wolverine. And then if he gets weird X-Men powers like that, somehow gets like other superhero powers into him, well, that's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to that game. I hope you guys are looking forward to that as much as I am. Big Wolverine guy here. I actually have considered getting myself a Wolverine tattoo at one point. Just can't seem to justify spending that much money on tattoos these days. I just can't seem to do it. All right, guys. Last night was Monday Night Football. Those of you who are members were here and came and watched our Thursday Night Football. Our Monday Night Football watch party that we do on Mondays. We also do them on Thursdays. That's why I mixed it up there. For those of you who aren't members, sadly you missed it. We had a lot of fun watching the game. It was a good game. Had a good time talking football. Spent a lot of time talking football on those shows, and then usually we do a little recap of them the next day. On Tuesdays, we'll follow up with our fantasy football and Monday Night Football recap. So without further ado, let's talk some football, guys. Last night, we saw we had the Bird of Prey game last night. We had the Seattle Seahawks hosting the Philadelphia Eagles out in Seattle. And what a football game that was, man. I enjoyed that game from the beginning to the end. What a great ending to the game. For those of you who didn't see it, here is the final play that actually was sealed the deal. The Eagles had taken the lead. They were up 17-13. The Seahawks got the ball back. They drove down. They got it with 33 seconds left on the clock. This is what happened.
Lock, end zone. It is caught.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a play by this guy. What a throw by Drew Lock. Got a guy coming around under pressure. Avoids it, ignores it. Throws an absolute dime into Njigba. Jackson Smith and Jigma, way to go. Stays in bounds. Everything about this play was just fantastic. He caught the ball, the back end of the football. They pointed this out last night. But what a play by him. And then you got Drew Lock doing his signature move, the lock. There it is. So really, really exciting end to that football game last night. It was really cool. I enjoyed watching Drew Lock show out. Everybody knows Drew Lock from his days in so here is real quick, by the way. Here's a recap of the score from last night. That's not my name there, but you can see the Eagles, they won the game. They lost the game 17-20 to the Seahawks. Drew Lock, he did show out 22 at 33, 208 yards passing with the touchdown. Seattle Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker Jr., he had 86 yards on the ground and a touchdown. I think he had 3 receptions, I don't know, for like 40, almost 50 yards too. And then, of course, DK Metcalf, the stud wide receiver for the Seahawks, came in with 5 catches and 78 yards. I probably should have just said at the bottom for the Eagles, tush push successful multiple times, except for Jason Kelsey getting called for a penalty. So, yeah, great game last night. I really enjoyed watching it. I had a lot of fun watching it with you guys. So hopefully we'll have more people joining in for Thursday Night Football. We do have some more football action coming up. Let's see here. What is this at? I got some more. Considering that, We did, Mikey and I both picked, now he's not here, so you see that's why there's the dark camera down there. And then oh, you know what? Let's do this. We can do that. How about that? There you go. I can take that off right like that. So, so you can see Mikey and I on the season. After last night, we were both wrong. Both of us picked the Philadelphia Eagles to win last night. We were both incorrect as the Seahawks upset. So that put me at 9-7 for last week, for week 15, and that put Mikey at 6-10 for week 15, which still leaves us even for the season. And I know that doesn't look like a lot of numbers for people who might be new to another dump show. They're like, we've got a lot more than 30 games worth of NFL season so far. Well, Mikey and I decided to start doing our picks late, so we did get around to it finally, though. But I did mention that there is more football coming up this week, and wow, what an amazing, after that loss last night for the Eagles, they dropped down to the 5th seed in the playoffs. Now, it looks a little weird. You're actually your brain's trying to read this left to right, but it's really going to go San Francisco, the 1st seed. They've clinched a playoff spot. They are 11-3. They won the NFC West, and they're going to be facing the Baltimore Ravens on Christmas at 8:15. So that's going to be great. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. That's going to be on ESPN. That's almost like a Super Bowl preview potentially. So I'm excited to watch that game. The Cowboys jumped back up to the 2nd seed after the Eagles lost. But because the Eagles have such a great record, they have already clinched a playoff spot. So they would get a wild card spot even if the Cowboys were to win the division. So that leaves the Cowboys, let's see, they're going to be playing on Sunday. Now, I put all the dates and times in here, you guys, because it's kind of weird going into Christmas with the way they're doing the NFL games this weekend, because we got Saturday, Sunday, and Monday games this week. Pretty great. Excuse me. What did I say? Saturday? It's all weird, actually. Hold on one second. Let me pull this up here because I have another one that I use for the dates and times and stuff for all the games. So, excuse me. So it's Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So it's all over the place this week. So in the NFC games, you can see that we have, as far as the ones that are a little bit wonky, I guess we got a Thursday night game. That's not so wonky. But the Saturday games, those are both going to be in the AFC, so you don't have to worry about that. All you NFC fans, all you really have to worry about is the Sunday games and then the Monday games, because that's really the big ones for the Eagles and the 49ers to keep an eye out for. And that is on Christmas. So lots of good football coming up all weekend. I'm really pumped for it. Here's the AFC playoff picture for you guys. Like I said, Christmas, we're going to see the Ravens facing the 49ers. That is 8:15. That's the late game on Christmas. And then plenty of football all through the week. Let's see. I showed the Thursday night games on there. Here's the weird kind of wonky ones for you guys to kind of keep track of. We got a Saturday game. We got the Bengals playing the Steelers. The Bengals are actually headed to Pittsburgh. That's going to be on NBC on Saturday at 4:30. So kind of a weird day and network for it to be on. So middle of the day on Saturday. Kind of strange. And then another Saturday game, and this one's even stranger. This one's on Peacock at 8:00 p.m. So I think it's also on NFL Plus. I don't know if it's going to be on the NFL Network, but I guess that game's going to be on Peacock. I don't even think I have a Peacock subscription, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch that game. But so there you go. That's the AFC playoff picture we're looking at here. Sorry, that's the scores from this week. So there you go. Lots of football to look forward to this next few days. I am so excited for it. I can't get enough of the NFL. And baby, I am on the bandwagon so hard for the Browns right now. I can't get enough of them. What a team we are dealing with. Hold on one sec. What a team we are dealing with right now. Why is this not opening? Come on. Why will this not let me do this? Hold on one second. Guys, speaking of the Browns, I have a picture I wanted to show you guys that I got from Amy. Amy is full-blown. She also is on the Browns bandwagon. Why is this not showing me? Anyway, so here you go. Here is the here is this picture I want you guys to see. Amy is also on the Flacco bandwagon. And if you're on the Flacco bandwagon, that means you have to be on the Njoku bandwagon. So you can see we got our two studs right there, living it up in their cardigans. Not quite Christmas sweaters for the time of year. But hey, I tell you what, the two of those guys, they're making magic over there for the Cleveland Browns. I saw somebody, I can't remember what show I saw, but I saw somebody commenting on Joe Flacco's spiral and how just absolutely magical and beautiful it is. And goddamn, are they right? It is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Very happy with the Cleveland Browns right now. And I'm on the bandwagon, so let's go. Somebody else who's kind of... So I got a little bit more football before we get into the Another Dumb Show Fantasy Football League update. I do have a quick little... What's kind of cracking I'm hearing? How am I hearing? I don't know what I'm hearing. Actually, let's just do this. Hi, Neighbor Dave, you're on Another Dumb Show. What's up, dude?
Hey, Dom, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Just trying to get over this cold. Just been out of it.
Dude, it's going around. I think I can't get rid of the cold I've had. It's like this never-ending sniffles and stuff. So I don't know if it's maybe just winter allergies or what, but it seems like a cold I just can't kick. So it's definitely going around. I know Jalen Hurts was sick last night. It was his flu game. He didn't pull off a Jordan like Jordan did. But hey, I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling good, dude. Not a good way to go into the Christmas.
Yeah, but I'm luckily I'm on vacation till January 2nd, so.
Oh, nice! Congratulations.
I got time to recoup. Yeah.
What can I do for you, my friend?
I just wanted to call and say, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while, and.
Oh, I know what you're calling. You're not calling to say, hey, you're calling to brag about your chances of winning the Another Dumb Show Fantasy Football League. I feel like that's what you're calling about, my friend, because Neighbor Dave is sitting pretty right now, guys. Neighbor Dave, he took the lead right now. So the way it works with the Fantasy Football League, the championship games are each 2 weeks long. The championship rounds are each 2 weeks long. So right now, Neighbor Dave is playing against Pat Wooey's team. They played this past week, and then they're going to play coming up this week for week 16. And then that same thing goes for John Gruden's Gmail and the Ocean Gate Titans. They played this past week, and they'll play again coming up this week. Right now, Neighbor Dave, he is in the lead. So they combine the points for the two games. So right now, Neighbor Dave is in the lead with 128.36 over Pat Wooey, 123.76. So a 5-point nail biter for Neighbor Dave right now. Neighbor Dave, how are you feeling about going into this next round of round one, or I guess next section of round one?
I'm kind of nervous because Jamar Chase is hurt now, so he probably won't be playing.
Is that, do you have any other injuries you're dealing with? Because that's a pretty significant one. That was one that was getting you lots of points. He was getting a lot of receptions.
Yeah. I got Cooper Kupp. He's been lighting it up lately, so he actually helped me win last week, Cooper Kupp. So
yeah, he did. I think he's had touchdowns in the last 3 games. I think he's had. So that's a good thing. Let's see if he can keep up. That means he's due to not have a game with a touchdown. So, so Bone Crusher. So but you know what though? You might get lucky. Let's see. Who are the Dolphins playing this week? If you get a big game out of a Dolphin, and Devin Singletary is probably not going to run much against the Browns. But shit, I'm looking at your roster right now. I'm trying to see how you're faring this week. So I don't know, dude. You still got a pretty good team. You could be in trouble with Nico Collins down there. I don't know. Is there anybody left? Is there anybody you could pick up from the free agent pool or anything to help you get that W?
I'm going to play around with what's out there on the waiver wire and see what I could do. Maybe I could bring somebody, put someone in there, and hopefully they can have a good game. We'll see.
All right. Well, I'm
We'll
looking
definitely
forward
see.
to seeing what happens. Mikey, now I put together a whole graphic for the leagues, for the actual people who are in first place. But I didn't want to do it for the consolation round because, goddamn, it is. I'll be honest with you, it's so confusing the way they have it laid out. So I just figured, screw it. I would just I would just tell you guys about the playoff bracket for the consolation round because, well, neighbor Dave's not in it, so he doesn't care. But basically, it's between Mikey and I are in dead last right now. He beat the crap out of me this week, and it's the same thing. It's a combined for a couple weeks, and then you move on to the next round. But essentially, guys, if I don't win today, or this week, it's likely I'm probably going to be eating the fucking Snickers with the American cheese wrapped around it. Like, I can't. When I first started this season, I thought there was zero chance I would come in last place. And I am really headed towards that right now. Pat Wooey is rubbing it in. He said, Kelsey and Jamar Chase are both hurt. That's an easy W for him next week, is what he says. So he's already talking the smack.
Yeah.
And I can hear the dejection in your voice. I know you got a cold, but I can hear how just how completely dejected you are by this. So you're
Yeah, I'm not trying to get hyped up right now. I'm not feeling too well, but Pat, I ain't worried about him. He's gonna go down. And
Okay. The smack talk continues. I like it. Very good. Very good.
And I got a suggestion for next year if we play again.
Sure.
About the playoffs. If we could have just 1 week instead of this 2 week stuff, and then have a 6-team playoff instead of 4, because there's 12 teams, and there should be at least 6 in there. Because 4 is, you see how close everybody was together.
Yeah. That's a pretty good point. We did have some pretty decent parity in the league, but I mean, we had a couple guys that kind of ran out to the front, and then you snuck in with the 7-7 record, and there were 3 other teams with a 7-7 record. So definitely would have made a difference for the playoffs if there were more in there. I think next year, to be honest with you, I'll consider looking into. I do want to do it again next year for sure. But I think I'll consider maybe either switching over to the NFL's one because it matches up with like YouTube TV and stuff. I think you can check your fantasy stats and stuff. I think. I don't know if that still does that this year since they switched to YouTube TV. But either way, I'm not super thrilled with this ESPN one and the layout for it. So if anything, I'd switch back to Yahoo or switch over to the NFL. I'd have to look more into the NFL one. But I'm not a big fan of this ESPN one. I don't like the way it laid out. And if we can change, I didn't even know. I wonder if I could go in ahead of time too and change the way the playoffs are set up because I just rolled with the way that they did it.
You should be able to. You're the commish.
Yeah, so maybe
you should be able to.
Next time around, we'll consider doing that because I just assumed that it was. I don't know. I just kind of rolled with the way they did it and thought it was good and didn't even consider how many people were in the playoffs or any of that. So it's my first time being a commissioner. I will learn from it and try to improve the league for next year. Sound good? Even though you're about to win this thing, your belly. No, I'm kidding.
It sounds great. I had a good time.
Awesome. Good
Playing in
stuff.
it.
Awesome. Good stuff. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I've had a great time too, my dude.
I just got one question about the old show, if you don't mind answering it for me.
I don't mind. Now I'm feeling nostalgic at Christmas time, so go ahead.
When they go on their break, did you get paid for that or no? How does that work?
Yeah, we're hourly employees, so or salary, one or the other. So yeah, it all depends on how that worked. But yeah, definitely, yeah.
Oh, so it was like a vacation for you guys then? Okay, you paid vacation.
No, because best of actually is really kind of stressful, to tell you the truth, because you are so worried about replaying something that may have been said in the past that could be, because we're in such a changing environment all the time with what's socially acceptable to say.
Okay.
So some older stuff may have phrases or words in it that, even though at the time got edited out, or there's editing that was going on, something that was okay to say in 2015 might not be able to say in 2023. So you got to listen to it really closely for anything that could get the show in trouble for something somebody said. And it really gets you in extra trouble if you say it live. You can sometimes apologize your way out of it, or you just you can brush it off. But when you replay something, they really get mad about that. They don't like that because you could be out ahead of it. You know what I mean? And say, well, why didn't you edit that out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So how can you say you're sorry when you had the opportunity to edit out, kind of a thing. So that stuff's very stressful because you're just sitting there. You can't do anything other than just listen to every word that's being said and be ready to hit the dump button if somebody says something, that could be deemed inappropriate or offensive or whatever. So yeah, no, not a vacation by any means, because you still had to get there early. And then you get out a little bit earlier because you don't have to do stuff after the show. So kind of look at it like you're working half days maybe, but still working just
Okay.
I actually found best of to be more stressful than actual work, than like the actual days we were live, because I was so worried about screwing it up. So, and you're also you're directly in control of the whole network at that point too, of all the different radio stations. Like when I'm just answering phones and talking into a mic, yeah, I'm aware I'm talking to multiple cities, but I'm actually physically in control of what's being sent out to multiple cities on the board and stuff like that. And all the, the board and the computer, so, and I'm making it sound harder than it is. It's not hard by any means. You're not swinging an axe or digging ditches or a hammer or, hard stuff like that. It's not hard like that. It's just like mentally taxing because you're scared to death of getting fired because of something somebody else did. You can't do anything about it. And you just have to listen super intently, and just hope that, nobody said anything they couldn't. And hopefully if they do, you dump it and you move on. So, that's.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were like physically had to be there like during the break or what, because this you guys they're airing old shows, so I didn't know how that worked with you guys.
You're literally sitting there hovering over that button, ready to dump it, man. Just boom, ready to be gone. So,
all right, Dove. You have a good one, man.
All right, neighbor Dave. Good to hear from you, dude. Good luck this week, my friend.
Thank you very much, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Merry Christmas, dude. See ya. All right, neighbor Dave, one of the members of the Another Dumb Fantasy Football League, has a chance. If he can take down Pat Wooey this week, he does have a very good chance at winning this whole thing. But I kind of glossed over the other guys here, so we'll just kind of show these guys real quick. John Gruden's Gmail. A lot of points this week. 137, the highest point scorer this week. So, and he's been a force to be reckoned with all year long. And then, of course, Ken K's team, the Ocean Gate Titans, they had that huge streak. I think they won 7 or 8 in a row. And then they've dropped a few, but still made it into the playoffs. Tough score this week with only 79 points scored. That does not look good for them moving into next week, especially with the projected total I'm looking at. Not a good sign for the Ocean Gate Titans. So it looks like potentially we probably are going to see the Wooies and John Gruden's Gmail, it looks like, unless there's some sort of crazy thing that happens in the NFL. I think we're getting down to our final 2 teams here to see who's going to win and take home the cash in the Another Dumb Show Fantasy Football League. And no, CB, I haven't spent it all on Uber Eats. I spent it all on weed. No, I'm just kidding. It's all sitting there ready to go to be given away for the person who earned it. So I am looking forward to that because it's been a fun league, and I'm super happy to have everybody involved with it. Let's see here, a little bit more football stuff before we get into a video dump. There was, I don't know if you guys saw this weekend, and I don't know, I'll be interested to see, and even if you don't play football, you might be interested in this story. There was a game this weekend where the Denver Broncos, I can't remember who the hell they were playing, but they had the coach of their team, Sean Payton, you've probably heard of Sean Payton before. He had a movie made about him with Kevin James. He was the Saints coach for a long time. He's involved in Bountygate. Left the NFL, did some TV stuff, and now he has moved on to back to coaching for the Denver Broncos. Well, the other day, the Broncos got down to the goal line. They got stopped at the goal line. I think there was some clock mismanagement. There was just kind of they kind of blew it down there in the red zone, right on the goal line. And the coach of this Sean Payton guy, well, the quarterback of the Denver Broncos, Russell Wilson, he comes over to the sidelines after kind of blowing it down there by the goal line. And this is what happens. The coach of the Broncos, Sean Payton, has a few words for Russell Wilson. So if you can read words, I thought he said, "You changed the play," because I watched this about 10 times when it happened. You changed the play right there. That's what I thought he said. But anyway, he's just berating Russell Wilson. Another grown-ass man, just a grown-ass man berating another grown-ass man in front of another grown-ass man right here. Just going to town on him, chewing his ass out. The other guy just sits there in silence. He doesn't say a fucking thing. I'm just adjust my microphone and pretend like there's nothing fucking happening here. But there has been some backlash about it. People are saying that Sean Payton was wrong for doing that he should not have been yelling at Russell Wilson the way he does in that clip. Now, I got to be honest with you. It's football to me. That's just how football goes. So it really didn't seem like that big of a deal to me. But Michael Irvin, who I love, and I'm so happy he got out of all that shit that happened at the Marriott with that woman who accused him of all this bullshit, and he was able to get out of it. Now he's suing them, and he's going to make all kinds of money. All these people releasing video of him and not doing a damn thing wrong. And now he's back on the NFL Network. Vindicated. I love it. Fucking Playmakers back, baby. I was so happy to see Michael Irvin back on the NFL Network. He's one of my favorite personalities. But he, I gotta say, I kind of disagree with him on this one.
I remember the Parcells and the Phil Sims. I worked with Phil over inside NFL. I've heard insides on all of those inside of those situations. That was then. This is now. You had control. Jimmy used to tell people, I'll make sure you never play again. It's not just that you won't play here. I'll make sure you never play again. Once I cut you, you ain't getting another chance. Russell got another $200 million coming in. That's it. That's it. You can't cut him. So now you got to be partners with them. This tells me right here, I don't know how we move on with this relationship.
But see, Michael, this is
I don't know how.
See, I gotta, and he goes on to say he believes he owes him an apology. I don't think Coach owes him fucking shit. That's the coach's job, is to tell him when he's done right or wrong. Otherwise, he just does whatever the fuck he wants. What is the point of a coach? Just to tell them where to be and when to be there? No, he's supposed to tell them where to be and how to be there. What they're doing, when to be there, and how to do it. That's the whole job as their coach, is to tell them when they're doing shit wrong. So especially if he calls a certain play in and Russell Wilson takes it upon himself to change the play. Now, I think that's what I saw him saying there. Not 100% sure. I just think that's what I saw him say. But Sean Payton doesn't owe anybody a fucking apology. He doesn't, what he said to, and whatever, and he came out and said that what happens between him and Russell stays between him and Russell. He's not going to out whatever he said about Russell to him. So, whatever. But I got to be honest with you. Good keeping it between you and your quarterback. You don't need to let that out to the whole world. But really, at some point in time, I know times have changed in the NFL, but there's got to be a point, like, and I don't know if it's like just the younger, and I hate to sound old saying stuff like that, but like the Gen Zs or Gen Ys or whatever the fuck we are now, I don't know, there's a new gen, I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, they're all you can't tell them they're doing anything wrong. even if they are doing something wrong. And now I know Russell Wilson is, have I been saying Russell Simmons this whole time? Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson. Now I know he is not really young, but I know he's not part of that younger Gen Z group. But it's not just him though. It's the people who are on the outside watching it, judging it. They can't even just can't be told they're doing something wrong. It doesn't make any sense to me. You will do things wrong in your life, especially when you're playing football. You make mistakes constantly playing football. It's the ones who don't make mistakes who are successful. So when you have a coach telling you what you're doing wrong, sometimes he's got to yell at you. And I'm sorry if that hurts your little insides and hurts your little feelings, but get the fuck over it. You're playing, especially in the football realm, where it is all about toughness and machismo and attitude and getting yelled at and learning from it in a sense. Like, you can't, this notion that the NFL is going to have to change where, I know Mike McDaniel is very different. You're never going to see him yelling like that. You're not going to see him doing, screaming and yelling it to it like that. And maybe that's the way to go about it because he does seem to have a great relationship with his players. And supposedly I don't know if Sean Payton doesn't. They won 7 games in a row or something crazy like that after they they let Miami score 70 points on him. So to me, he's a good coach and he's got control of his locker room. They have one loss there. So that was their playoffs on the line too. So there was a huge moment for the Broncos. So all these pansies who watch this shit, and they're like, he's being so mean to him. I can't believe the way he's talking to him. He shouldn't be raising his voice to him. Maybe that's why I'm such a maniac, because I grew up around. That's just the way you get talked to when you screw up. You get yelled at. It's loud. It's not fun sometimes. You're going to get chewed up and spit out, especially in the football world, man. So it must be. It would be great to be growing up in that generation, though, I guess, because you just know you're never going to get yelled at. In the end, you're just going to be like, you'll get a slap on the wrist and maybe some sort of they'll figure out training for you or something like that instead of yelling at you for your mistake or scolding you or punishing you. Instead, you get some sort of reward for screwing up. I don't know. It's just like a total change of, and I'm not some military hardcore guy by any means. I saw a story about Bradley Cooper, the actor. He won't let people that work on set use chairs. He could sit on an apple box, though. That's what he tells them. They're allowed to sit on an apple box. What a fucking idiot. What a fucking jerk off. This guy, if you're going to work on a movie with me, you got to be willing to stand the whole time. Shut the fuck up. That's so fucking dumb. So that's what I'm talking about, though. That is too far. That's stupid. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. If somebody wants to sit down in the middle of their shift when they're not working and they got a minute to take a load off, take a fucking load off. What's the difference? Doesn't mean you're not involved. I know you watch Seinfeld, the guy falls asleep in the rocking chair. Ha ha ha. Either way, you fucking take a load off if you need to in between things. My weddings, I will say though, at weddings, the only time I sit is during dinner, and I'll maybe take a little bit break, 5 minutes during cocktail hour to sit down and get my bearings after I set up and everything. But once the music starts, I sit down twice, just literally to give my feet and my back 10 seconds of relief. That's all I do. I sit down, I literally count to myself because I don't want anybody seeing me do it. I almost kind of hide down behind the booth. So people don't see me sitting, and then I stand back up. So maybe I'm a little hypocritical in that sense, but I only do that to make it look like I'm working. If I wasn't working, when there's downtime, take a fucking load off, man. Chill out, Bradley Cooper. Chill out, bro. Anyway, he's probably mad about the Eagles losing. That's probably what his attitude problem is. But anyway, I don't even know how I got off track with Bradley Cooper. I don't even remember what I was talking about there. Oh, but anyway, with coaches, I think Sean Payton is in the right there. He has every right to yell at his players if they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. let's see here. A couple more. Aaron Rodgers, he came out today and he finally talked about his what it looks like for his prognosis and his return to the NFL. He was on the Pat McAfee show today, and this is what he had to say about his potential return to the NFL this season.
Pushing to play, but the fact is I'm not. I've been working hard to get closer to that, but I'm still 14 weeks tomorrow from my surgery, and being medically cleared as 100% healed is just not realistic at 14 weeks.
So I think everybody says that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Like if you were willing to risk not being 100% to get back in there for a team that had a chance to go on a run and make the playoffs and do everything, I think that would have made sense too as people. I think we would have been like, all right, that makes sense. If he's at 70%, 65, 75%, whatever it is, but they still have a chance to go on a run, this is still a storybook, right? This is still a story.
It still would have been, again, we're in the hypothetical world. So it still would have been, I would have, if we win Sunday, then I need to go through a week of 11-on-11 practice, taking team reps, seeing how I respond to that, seeing how much I can move in the pocket, seeing can I get out of the pocket. So there still would have been a conversation. It would have just been, it wouldn't have been, hey, we won, you're activated, you're for sure playing. Now, I obviously, being a competitor, I would have pushed it as hard as I could this week, but it still would have been a conversation. I would have had to, check all the boxes, practice well, respond well the next day after some of these 11-on-11 sessions, and then the conversation between Woody and Joe and Robert and Dave and the medical staff and Neil Elatrosh and myself to determine whether or not they were going to ultimately clear me.
Okay.
So there you go. So it sounds like if the Jets had any chance of making it to the playoffs, he would be coming back. But as of right now, without any sort of offensive line and no chance of making the playoffs, he's making the executive decision that he's not ready to just jump back in right now, obviously, and try to push them towards any sort of playoff run, which they really have no chance towards. He's out. He's done. The miracle comeback is not going to happen. Aaron Rodgers, the fantasy world that, and honestly, you know what? It almost seems like the whole thing was a bunch of bullshit all along. Because it's almost like they knew when he got hurt, there was no chance that Zach Wilson was going to lead them to the fucking playoffs, right? I think we all knew that. So I think Aaron was like, you know what? Let me add a little bit more lore to my, let me add a little bit more to the tale of me and say, you know what? I'm going to set some record-breaking Achilles comeback faster than anybody else, damn well knowing that the playoffs were never going to happen. He was only going to come back if the playoffs happened, and the playoffs weren't going to happen. So, shit. I'm just going to say I'm going to come back, and then when we don't make the playoffs, I'm just going to do what he just did today on Pat McAfee show and say, looks like I'm not going to make it back, guys. But hey, you know what? I give the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to knock the guy, like try to keep things positive. Who knows? But I have a feeling Aaron Rodgers is very calculated in everything he does. And it seems like he had a win-win situation there where he could say, yep, I'm going to have this miracle comeback. And then when it came down to it, when he didn't have to have that miracle comeback, he had it out because, well, they didn't make the playoffs, so I don't need to. So another quick video, another update, guys. You're going to love this video. Hey, so yesterday we talked about the Malok, okay? What happens when you do some bad stuff, you get bad vibes around Italians. I tell you what. It's the problem. We talked about Sean Stellato. He backed out of Caliglio's pizza shop, having Tommy Cutlets come and do an appearance there for him. There was a big hubbub, a big hullabaloo, a lot of babaloo about Tommy Cutlets, whether or not he was going to make it over to Caniglio's Pizzeria. Well, guys, I tell you what, Tommy Cutlets comes through. He says, you know what? My agent, he made a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake, but we don't need any Malok on us, all right? We don't need the Malok. So I tell you what, I'm Tommy Cutlets. I tell you what, I just show up. I come over I'll just show up at Caniglio's. There we go. We make us some pizza and drink some sodas. You know you love a good float from Coniglio's. Okay, no carbs for them though. Just a little soda drink. They make you a soda on the spot. There you go. So there's Tommy Cutlets coming through. He showed up down there at Coniglio's. Hey, after the dispute, he comes in for free. The guy doesn't even charge him. He went from 10,000, then up to 20,000. Then he says, hey, I tell you what, I don't need the bad press. I'm going to show up. I don't need the maloke. And I'm going to show up there and I'm going to make some fucking pizzas and eat some sodas with you guys. Okay? Sound good? Okay. So we all capiche. Everything's a copacetic here. Okay. Tommy Cutlets making good over there in Morristown, Jersey at Coniglio's. Okay. Way to go, Tommy Cutlets. Love you. All right. I love that Tommy Cutlets story. I can't get a fuck enough of it. I love that dude. Alrighty, guys. That is going to wrap things up for us tonight. I hope you guys had fun this evening. I had a nice time with you guys. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll see Mikey back. I don't know what the story as far as his return is. Usually we kind of keep it day to day with Mikey as far as his work schedule and everything he's got going on as far as personally, blah, 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 blah. So that is going to wrap things up for us tonight. We will be back live tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m. The boys are going to be here with me. I don't know if they'll be on for the whole show at least, but I do want them to come and hang out, do a little fun family show. Maybe we'll do a little bit of gaming at some point over maybe during tomorrow's game. I don't know, tomorrow's show. I'm kind of leaving tomorrow up in the air a little bit because I'm going to be doing that eggnog challenge, and I don't know what the hell is going to happen with me in that. I don't know if I'm going to be puking my guts out. I'm sure I'll puke. I don't know if I'm going to be able to puke and rally and talk and do a show after all the puking. I don't know. But the point is, tomorrow, we're doing the eggnog challenge here on Another Dumb Show. I'm going to see how fast I can get down a gallon of eggnog, if I can get down a gallon of eggnog. If not, we will measure to see how much I do get down, how quickly I get it down. If Mikey wants to try to take it on this week in like a Mikey members only show, or if he wants to get himself a gallon of eggnog and try to do it with me tomorrow, God love you, Mikey. You're welcome to try it with me tomorrow. But either way, guys, we're doing the eggnog challenge tomorrow, and we're going to be puking. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun because I just love eggnog. Oh boy. Thank you to everybody who came and hung out tonight. We had many a lot of big super fan donations from Tim tonight. So much love to you, my dude. I really appreciate it. Super fan. There you go. I'm hitting the wrong button that whole time. Thank you very much to you, Tim. Thanks to everybody else who donated in there. Let's see. I think I got a little. I can look and see everybody who. Tim, CB, Tim twice actually, 2 huge ones. So thank you to Tim. Scott78 gifted out 5 Another Dumb Show memberships, and I just noticed. Brad also put one in. I didn't see yours, Brad. I'm sorry. I'm glad I double checked. He said puke cannon, gallon of milk. Now, I do remember, did I drink the whole gallon though? I can't remember if I got the whole thing down. So we shall see. Regardless, we're not doing it with milk, baby. We're taking it up a notch with raw eggs mixed with milk and spices. That's so gross. All right, guys. If you have not hit a thumbs up for tonight's video, I would greatly appreciate it if you did that. Thank you for hitting the like if you do. It's just that little thumb at the bottom. Just takes you one second. Just boom, hit that thumb. Give your brother a little love, a little thumbs up for tonight's video. Also, if you're not already subscribed, if you're new to Another Dumb Show, if you're watching, if you've been watching RMG and they're on Best Of and you got reminded of your old pal Dumb and you're like, hey, I wonder what he's up to. And you're here and you're new and you're wondering why you can't participate in the chat. It's because you have, which we call the League of Dummies here. If you're wondering why you can't participate in the League of Dummies, it's because you have to be subscribed. Once you are subscribed, you are able to talk in the chat after about 10 minutes. So we encourage you guys to do that. We love to have new members of the League all the time. I know they can be a little intimidating, but I promise you, once you get in there and you stop lurking and just say hi and just kind of start interacting, boy, next thing you know, you'll have some new friends because the league's actually pretty cool. So I encourage everybody to do that. Like I said, if you are not already, I already did the subscribe stuff, but hey, we'll probably going to be doing some members only with just probably some gaming shows over the weekend, over the Christmas holiday and all that stuff. So just make sure if you're not already a member and you want to watch the members only shows, hit that join button. It's $2.99 a month to be able to have access to all the members only shows. And if you want to become a Team Dumb Ultimate fan, That's $9.99 a month. It's the best way to help support another dumb show. Those are just for super dumb fans. If you're a super dumb fan and you want to see another dumb show be successful and see me be successful, that's the best way to do it, guys, because there's no corporation paying for all this. You guys just help it up and run. So, again, I appreciate it to everybody who donated today. Some big ones today, and they mean a lot to me. So thank you so much to all you guys, for especially this time of year. It really does mean a lot, and it's very helpful to me because, that wedding season slows down in the winter around here. You'd think it would pick up because people just do inside weddings, but it just slows down. But all right, guys. That's going to wrap things up. I thank you guys all for watching this evening on issue number 154. I'll see you tomorrow live at 7 p.m. here Eastern. We'll try to be on time tomorrow. Hopefully there won't be any more lizards dying, and we'll be on time tomorrow at 7. I am out of here. See you.